What's up, everybody? It's Conger Live. We're back again with another DC Worlds Collide video. I know it's been a couple days since I've made one because I've been busy IRL, but there's been some requests for an artifacts tier list. We're going to go through all the artifacts. We're going to do some artifact draws in this video, and we're going to talk about which characters probably like to use different artifacts. But take this with a grain of salt because there's really not enough artifacts to make a tier list, so we're just going to explain them. If you're new to the channel, ninja kick the like button, subscribe for more content, and let's get into it. You are now watching Conger Live, part of the DC Worlds Collide content creator program. Okay, cool. So we're going to go ahead and go over here to our artifacts. And I am going to get some, but before we get them, we're going to take a look at them. Now, when it comes to creating a tier list, the epics, there's only 4 of them, are definitely better than the elites or the rares in general, just because they give a bigger stat bonus. So we're going to look at the Atlantean Helmet first. It is for a tank. That is the one restriction, and that's another reason why there's not really a tier list, is because there are restrictions on what characters can use what based on their role. And so there's only, what, 3 tank artifacts, 4 DPS artifacts, and 2 support artifacts. So yeah, but these attribute bonuses, these are going to be bigger based on the fact that this is an epic. First off, so that automatically makes it better. So whichever tank is your best tank is probably going to want the Atlantean Helmet in general. Although I do have a chart which was put together with my help, but by my clanmate BernieTime. And BernieTime, I'm going to have this up for you guys, has decided without overlapping which heroes are best for these. But take it with a grain of salt, because he says Nightwing, Martian Manhunter, and John Stewart for the Atlantean Helmet. But I would probably put this on my Lex, just because Lex is my best tank if I had it, because it's got bigger stat bonuses. Now, there are some things about the descriptions. So the Atlantean Helmet heals for hit points equal to 30% of max hit points and gains 2 stacks of sturdy armor for 2 turns when casting the ultimate for the first time. Now, chances are on Lex, casting the ultimate for the first time, the heal is going to go wasted, because I'm going to play that that ultimate before any damage is taken most of the time to get that defense. But the sturdy armor is nice. I like that. I think this is probably going to be really good on Nightwing. If you had Nightwing, he's probably the #1 pick to put this on. Now, if you can tier it up or rank it up, you can get Dispel 2 types of debuffs and gain 2 stacks of Cloak, which is really, really awesome at rank 2. And at rank 3, the number of debuffs dispels increases to 4 for every 1 less type of debuff dispelled. Additionally, heals for hit points equal to 5% of max HP. So if you only have 2 debuffs and that you dispel, then you're going to heal for another 5% HP. So that's really cool. Also, the epics have more skill descriptions than the others, which is another reason why they're better. Now, it also gives a 15,000 hit points to the wearer at 1, but if we rank it up to 2, it increases reflection by 5%, and at level 3, reflection is 10%, and hit point increase is 45,000 hit points. So that's really, really nice. Also, as you tier it up, you get hit points, I think, no matter what the piece of artifact is, but the tank and support are going to give you defense bonus at tier 2, block bonus at tier 3, and then the damage reduction is at tier 4. But only the epics can get to tier 4. When we're going to look at the rest of the epics now. So my Chaos Crystal, now this one, Wonder Woman, Red Hood, and Hal Jordan are the recommended heroes, but once again, this I believe is the best DPS artifact. So whoever's your best DPS is probably going to want this. You could put this on Killer Frost if she's your main DPS, just because it gets a bigger bonus. But if you have the wrist gun, that's probably going to be where what Killer Frost is going to use, just because of the way it synergizes with its text. So the DPS ones go hit points. They all go to hit points tier 1, and then it's attack and then crit, and then damage amplification as opposed to reduction. So pretty cool. But tiering them up takes some time. Ranking up is not as hard. You just got to get duplicates. But tiering up takes those materials, which are definitely hard to collect. So I buy those in the guild store as much as I can. So this one at the start of round 2 sacrifices 20% of current hit point and gain the power of chaos, increasing damage amplification by 25% and lifesteal by 15% for 2 rounds. Really, really nice. And then when triggered, additionally gains 3 stacks of haste, at 3 stacks of frantic for 2 rounds at skill level 2, which I have. And then at 3, the power of chaos can dispel and grant immunity to all control debuff and action bar knockback effects. Damage amplification increases by 40% instead. So really, really cool. I often put my Wonder Woman in the front line. So this, if I could get this immunity to control and debuffs, would be an action bar knockback would be really, 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 really nice. So that's that. But she also gains hit points and then lifesteal increase by 5%, and then at level 3 increases by 10% hit point. And so this is the rank level when you get those up. So being able to rank it up would be really, really nice. I need some duplicates. I think 3 more duplicates before I can do that. So yeah, that's the Chaos Crystal equipped right now for me on Wonder Woman. Next is the Philosopher Stone. This is a support specific one. As you notice, like I said, the defense bonus, the block, and the damage reduction, exact same as the tank tier talents for that. Once again, tiering up is the expensive and hard part. So pick wisely. I would say probably doing your DPS items first, because DPS matters generally more than defense or things like that in order to progress further. This is equipped by Zatanna. Definitely probably the best for Zatanna to be wearing this. Raven, Cyborg, Two-Face. Two-Face probably could benefit from this a lot as well, depending on how you're using him. The nice thing about Two-Face is, even though he's a support, his best use is as a tank, and that's kind of the cool variable thing with this. When we look at its skill, gains vitality and haste for 2 rounds. So the vitality gives you extra ultimate meter or ultimate ticks, right? And then the haste is going to let you go a little bit faster. The vitality is increased to 2 stacks, and haste extends for 3 rounds at level 2. And at level 3, when triggered upon casting the next ultimate, regains ultimate point. So that I believe you get whatever your ultimate points were. Maybe it's only 1 point, or maybe it's 2 if you, for Zatanna being a 2, 3 for, I'm not sure. I think probably only the 1 point, but still a little bit of ultimate points back from using it is really, really nice from the Philosopher's Stone. So this is definitely the best support item, since there are only 2 support items, other than the spheres, which don't have a trait specific, which is really, really nice. Increases speed and increases speed by 10% and hit points by 4,500 when you get to rank 3. So really, really nice to have those extra bonuses, once again, which is why Epic is better. The last Epic piece is the Lasso. The Lasso is great. I just think that the Chaos Crystal is better in general. But the attribute bonuses, I think, are basically the same with the talent bonuses, but it's about the skills. Increases crit chance by 100% for the first strike dealt to each target when casting the ultimate for the first time. So the first time your ultimate is going to get a 100% crit. Now, this is good on Wonder Woman if you're early game, but when you get later game and you have other ways of boosting Wonder Woman's crit chance, it's kind of wasted on her. And then also, if you are able to rank it up, it not only increases the crit damage, which is nice for the 15% for the first strike, and gains 100% crit chance to inflict silence for 2 rounds, inflict silence for up to 2 targets. Well, when you have the crit with Wonder Woman, she stuns on her ult. So doing stun and silence at the same time, it's kind of wasted. So that's why That's another reason why the lasso is actually better on someone else. Someone like, so he has Sinestro, Constantine, Green Arrow, and I had Green Arrow using it for a long time. I've recently switched it to Constantine because my Constantine is stronger now. I could definitely see Sinestro benefiting from this as well. So those are the recommendations from BernieTime. And then it extends the silence and inflicts silence on more targets as you get it ranked up to level 3. Really, really cool. And then the damage amplification as a start, all these give 15,000 base, but when you get to rank 2, increases damage amplification by 5%, and then at rank 3, 10%, and then 4,500 hit points. So really, really nice for that damage amplification. I think better on a big hit than the multiple hits when it comes to that amplification. So I think Constantine's slightly a little bit better, or Sinestro than Green Arrow, but all great choices for the Lasso of Truth. Okay, now we're getting into the Elite, the purple ones. The first one I have up is this Tank 1 Bane's Venom. Now, BernieTime suggests Lex Luthor, Superman, Bizarro. I don't really feel personally that it's best for Lex Luthor, because if this triggers this effect where it heals the first time you drop below a certain hit points, heals himself for 20%. If Lex gets that low, you're in a bad situation already to begin with. And when triggered, it gains additionally 2 stacks of recover for 2 rounds. Healed amount is increased to 35%. Recover increases 3 stacks. Definitely feel like Superman does really, really well with this. I guess Bizarro would be good as well. Do what you have, use what you have on the characters that you have available. But yeah, I did use Bane's Venom for a long time on Lex Luthor, but I have switched to the SMR Sticks. Now the thing also, Elite only has the 1 skill. It doesn't have the other bonus. So that's another reason why Elites are just not as good as Epics. Even if you like the skill, it's not going to have as much stats. Even the tier talent bonuses are smaller. Only 3 tier talent bonuses. So I would not invest in these until your epics are fully up when it comes to tiering them. I wouldn't waste my resources, since the tier resources are tough to come by. But ranking up, it's definitely much easier to collect these. So go ahead and rank those up. Next up is the Wrist Gun. Wrist Gun's probably the best DPS Elite. This skill here is really, really awesome. Defeating any target progresses the action bar by 50%. This can be triggered up to 1 time per battle. When triggered, permanently increases basic attack damage by 35%. Progresses the action bar by 60% instead. Can be triggered up to 2 times instead. But that unlocks at rank 5. Really, really cool. So this is going to be best on Deathstroke or Killer Frost, because they love their basic attacks. Now, I don't have Deathstroke. Also, he's legendary, so it takes more resources to invest in him. So as you can see, it is on my Killer Frost. Really, really like what it does for her. I think that it pairs really, really well for that. Next, we have the SMR Sticks, which is now what I'm using for Lex Luthor, because it grants Firm Stand for the first time, and if I can rank it up, it'll give me some damage reduction. When triggered, will heal. That's not really so much of a matter, but increasing that block since he's a tank, I feel like this is slightly better than the Bane's Venom, which is why this is what I use. Ideally on Lex, I would like the Canary Bomb, but that's a support item, so that's kind of a sad thing. I think that's where we're in next. Canary Bomb. Personally, right now it's on Raven just because it's more stats, and I don't use Raven that often except for in like those boss fights. So I'm just trying to give her a little extra stats. The damage, heal, and shield effects of the first ultimate cast are all increased by 25%. So this shield effects, this is why I wish I could put this on Lex, but it is restricted to support, so I cannot. When triggered, next basic attack has a 100% chance to inflict stun to the enemy. First target hit for first round unlocks at rank 3. So definitely would like to have that ability. I think this makes it a decent item. And decreases ultimate points spent by casting the first element by 1, which is nice. So it's recommended by BernieTime that you put this on Pandora, Kid Flash, or Cyborg. Yeah, once again, whatever support you're using, if you don't have the Philosopher Stone, they're using this. That's just how it is. And if you do have the Philosopher Stone, you're going to be using that, not the Canary Cry Bomb, because chances are you're not going to be running 2 supports. You could, I suppose, put this on Two-Face. Having that stun might be nice for him, but yeah, do what you can with what you got. Next up is the Mega Rod. This is probably the least impressive DPS item that we have so far. When casting the ultimate for the number 2 time, so the second time you cast the ultimate, each part of the damage dealt by the ultimate progressively gains 15% damage application up to 30%. So this means you have to be able to cast the ultimate twice before this triggers, and so the second time, then you're getting damage amplification each time for each part of the damage dealt. So you want a multiple strike ultimate on this. So this is where you're going to want Flash or Green Arrow, maybe Batman, Robin, Red Hood are all recommended by BernieTime. Definitely, I think Flash, Green Arrow are going to benefit from this the most. Really kind of just depends on what you have. This is your... I have another damage dealer and I have another piece, but chances are you're not using more than 3 damage dealers on your main team. And if you have the other items, you're going to be using Chaos Crystal, Lasso of Truth, and Wrist Gun. You're not going to be using the Mega Rod. The Mega Rod belongs to Big Barda, I believe her name is. She's not in the game yet, so seeing that her weapon is here, maybe we'll see her in the future. I don't know. Is that a character you guys want to see? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, now we're into the spheres. That's all we have left. So each sphere is a color, and that's related to its trait. So yellow gives armor break. Pink gives hit points. Purple gives shield crit rate is increased. So this one is good for Lex if you don't have another option, any of the other better options. Block rate blue, this is good for Nightwing if you don't have anything else to put on. We have defense increased for the green. We have crit for the orange, so this is good for Wonder Woman early on if you don't have anything else to put on her. Red is damage, so any of your attackers, give them some red. And that's it. That's all of the artifacts. I'm going to leave a link to the image that BernieTime put together. There's a section that shows kind of basically what they all do. I helped compile that for him, and then he put the list together. So thank you, BernieTime, for your help with this. Let me know which of these artifacts you like the best. I want this Atlantean Helmet, so let's go try and get it. All right, so we can do a 10 search now. And what did we get? Nothing great. We're going to search 10 again. Can't do that. We're going to do a diamond purchase, and we want to buy 21. Because we will unlock the Atlantean Helmet with our guaranteed epic draw that we get if we don't get it after these 40 draws. The law of averages, I think it's 5%, so you should get an epic after only 20 draws. So I got this. I'm going to guaranteed. Let me check the probabilities again. 2.5%. That's one. Oh, it's more like 1 out of 50. 1 out of 40. So yeah, you should get it, but we didn't. So we're going to use this to acquire it. So we have them all unlocked. Ta-da! We got it. So now am I going to put this on Lex? Probably, just because you see 220, 660, 13. It's just bigger stats. And then the sturdy armor. So even though the heal will probably go to waste, I'll get the sturdy armor and some extra stats from that. I also have to pull 20 characters from the mother box for the weekly because the week is just ending. I haven't done that, so we're going to just use 20 of these. And if we get an epic, great. If not, no big deal. Just completing the... Congratulations, Gorilla Garad! There it was, up at the top. We can just click skip. Boom. Well, we need to do 10 more for the weekly challenge. And we're probably not going to get anything else out of that. That's all we got for today's video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this breakdown of the artifacts is helpful for you. Let me know which artifacts you're using on which heroes, if you agree or disagree with some of the things we've talked about. I love to hear from you guys in the comments, and I try to make sure I always respond to everyone's comments. So that's it. Thanks again. We'll catch you in the next video.